Anyone, they know it. Stockpile. Never compile the dogs. Never in my life.
I want to know where that comes from.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. This is Lincoln's home for sport talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7. The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Rich Dye and the doubles here. If you had to pass the baton down to the new guy and say, that's the new pipeline, what does that look like?
Conditioning for me ultimately is a game changer. I don't care how much you can bench, how much you can squat. If you can start a game and finish a game in the same condition, in the extreme elements, you're going to have the ability to wear it. And that's what we took a lot of pride in. By the third and fourth quarter, they were dog tired. They knew it was coming at them again. The same it was in the first quarter.
This is Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public Schools on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into Ticket Weekends. I am Harrison Arns pushing the ones and twos. This is Bigger Than the Score. We don't have Pete here with us today. We got Phil.
Yeah, you got stuck with me today, Harrison. Pete's out of town. The voice isn't quite as deep, but we're still going to try to bring the action that Pete usually brings. Welcome to Bigger Than the Score on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Phil Maynard. I'm filling in for Pete Ferguson today. I'm here with Harrison, and I'm excited because we have some good guests. Harrison, you excited for the 4th of July weekend?
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I didn't actually buy any fireworks. I have a apartment where it's nice to a nice neighborhood. We'll say it that way. And they get it going for me. And I just sit on the back patio and I just kind of let them go crazy. I can't light fireworks if I live in an apartment building anyway, but no, it's awesome.
That's kind of the way we've done it. We are very fortunate at the end of our neighborhood. We have a cul-de-sac, and I swear every third they bring in a big old pickup truck and we kind of set up lawn chairs in our neighborhood and we all get a nice little view. But yeah, we went out to Davie yesterday, and I can always tell my son, all of a sudden he starts just grabbing. He just starts grabbing, and he turns into the guy. He goes, Dad, I think I like 4th of July more than Christmas. I really do. I was like, okay, you can always tell which holiday is a little bit closer. I'm just hoping he keeps all of his fingers and toes.
Is that kind of one of you? Are you a pyromaniac kind of guy or what?
I think I was when I was younger, not so much. It's more about making sure he keeps all of his fingers and toes. It's our dog. You know, we've had a couple dogs in the past. The old dogs were always scared running under the bed. This dog wants to go attack the fireworks, so we definitely have to keep Bear inside.
So he doesn't go pick one up and start firing on everyone.
For sure. But yeah, Pete's gone this week. And I don't know if you saw that on social media, but I was wondering if he was going out to Coney Island to compete with Kobayashi or Joey Chestnut, but he said he's going to hold back on that. So
yeah, that'd be funny. That might be in his calling sometime in the future. Take down Joey Chestnut.
Oh, for sure. So I know this morning on the ticket, we have some exciting things, but just knowing in our community, I've seen some really great stuff that's going on. And something that I noticed at Lincoln Southwest that was happening, there was a student named Stephen Dow. There was 140,000 kids from all over that competed in the greatest, I think it's the high school theatrical award ceremony. Is that right? I've got girls nodding their heads over here. Yep, you're saying that right, Phil. And out of 140,000, the competition took place on Broadway, and he just made the top 16 like in the country out of 140,000 kids. So I might have to talk to Pete. This is a kid you might want to get on their show or something, because to be able to represent not only Lincoln Public Schools, but Lincoln Southeast, I believe, Southwest, and he's in the top 16. So we'll see where that continues to go. It's called the Jimmy Awards, I believe.
Yeah. How many did you say?
140,000.
140,000.
And he's in the Sweet 16 of it. So yeah, it's pretty amazing to make it that far in that kind of competition.
Yeah, we might have to get Pete to find a way to get him on next. I might actually have to go through some agents to get there at this point.
Exactly. But yeah, I think for fireworks and stuff, I think we're not buying anymore. We've spent more than we need to on that kind of stuff. So now it's just, hopefully we'll watch the tanks and stuff during the day, and we'll kind of enjoy the smoke bombs and stuff this afternoon. And we'll see. Hopefully Parker still has all his fingers. He was in here a couple of weeks ago for Mother's Day. I don't know if you remember meeting my son that week and all that. But yeah, we're excited for the holiday weekend.
Yeah, it should be a good one. And again, you guys can always join the show. Chime in on the Starter Hammond text line 402-464-5685. And we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And Allo Channel 951. Great way to put a face to the voice. So again, if you guys want to join the show, definitely feel free to do so. Phil, since it is 4th of July weekend, I want to ask you, do you got a favorite memory or even just a funny memory of 4th of July?
Well, you know, the rules in Nebraska, I swear, have changed dramatically since I was a little boy. We used to have to go other places to find bottle rockets and things like that. But I think with me, it was always just going with my family. We'd go out to some friends who lived out in the country. And I remember I was always too little, But we'd go in, we'd pull in the big of our back, be full-size van. You'd open up the back doors, you'd lay out the bed in the back, when you could put a table in your van when they were the full-size vans, and you just kind of look up and you'd enjoy those. And hopefully you didn't hurt yourself with too many sparklers or snakes or whatever you were playing with at that time. But nothing, no specific memory, but the 4th was always a good time in my household.
Do you have any scary moments on the 4th? That is one thing. Be careful out there. 4th of July, it's always the time. You can read the numbers. There's a lot more
I think
fires.
we've all had that artillery shell moment where we're trying to light it and the thing tips over and everybody's got to run in a certain direction.
I got a story for that, and that's why I'm asking.
I'm excited to hear it, Harrison. What happened?
Well, this was, man, I had to have been about 8 years old. And to this day, me and my brothers will still fight about it. So, it was, those little fireball shooters where it's just like, I don't know. It's like a little octagon. They shoot fireballs straight
Roman
up in the air.
candles, maybe, or
no, not like it. Kind of like it's like a fountain, but it has like the fireball shooters that go straight in the air, really high.
Okay, I know what you're talking.
So I put it down. I swear to this day, there was a gust of wind that blew it over. Everyone else says I put it on a rock. So the thing tips over and it starts firing into the tree line out in the farm. All of a sudden, there's a fire in the tree line, and we're all panicking. We luckily put it out, but there's a fire truck going by. They miss us, and it was a scary moment. Luckily, nothing caught on fire. But just not a great moment. To this day, me and my brother still fight about how it wasn't my fault. It was the wind, and I probably did put it on a rock, but I was 8.
The memory always changes through times about how exactly it happened, and probably mom and dad maybe even remember it a little bit differently.
Yeah. So to summarize the story, just be safe out there. And when you're doing 4th of July events, don't put it on a rock. Don't do anything dumb.
Yeah, have that bucket of water nearby. All that fun stuff.
Luckily, we had some rain, so it's not too dry. That is one thing I get worried about. Yeah, because when you have those really dry summers, that's when 4th of July is a little nerve-wracking because you can just see the dead grass. Well, not dead grass, but just dried out grass. But no, this one should be great. We had some nice weather. You know how many inches we got yesterday? It's coming down pretty good for a while.
It came down for a while. It has to be over a couple at least. I mean, it was good. It was, my wife sent me out in the yard to pull weeds because she goes, it's easier today to do it. You can pull weeds today. I said, oh, great. Thanks. This is awesome. No, but I think we had, the rain was amazing. And I was like, this is perfect. And then it cooled down the temperature for the afternoon, for the evening and stuff. We were pretty excited about it.
Absolutely. And just trying to keep it in Lincoln a little bit here. There's a lot of great things going on just around the community as a whole. We've been talking a lot. We've had, junior achievements and all the events going on. Obviously, Cedars, that wasn't too long ago. They had their big event, just Give to Lincoln Day in general. But no, everything's been it's going really well. And we do have some more guests coming up. I kind of want to preview them as well. But just real quick, I'm trying to think. I don't want to forget anything. We're leaving out anything right now going wrong in the Lincoln community that we should shout out.
I know a lot of the schools are doing their high school camps and their elementary school camps this week for football, volleyball, and some things like that. And I think Lincoln Northeast just got done with a 7-on-7 tournament up in Norris. At Norris ended up their football team ended up winning. But it looked like it was a lot of fun competition. It was good to see those Northeast kids get out there and play in that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like football in general and just athletics. Yeah. I mean, with Jordy Ball, we got Sam Greasel. Now we're getting all these football players.
Well, all the recruits are getting. It's exciting time.
Kaylin, official 4-star now, which is awesome. They finally upgraded and gave him that official 4.
Well, and who was the pick from Miami that we just got?
Ja'Cory, I think Ja'Cory is how you pronounce it. Ja'Cory Barney.
Yeah, I was listening on the way in. I go, that was a nice surprise.
Yeah, well, Ja'Cory Barney. The story behind him was last time he visited Nebraska was June, and then he went to Tuscaloosa, and then he also did Miami. So he that was 2 visits. He did Nebraska and then 2 more visits and then was going to decide. And he was just radio silence.
I had no idea he was even on the radar.
There was crystal ball predictions, but it was like 89% Miami and then Nebraska with the scraps. And there's a few people that had maybe Texas A&M up there ahead of Nebraska, but he didn't tell his family.
I know.
He didn't tell Coach. He didn't tell anyone. So the only one that had the hat was him.
That's incredible. I mean, and that says a lot about what they're building at Nebraska right now to have him leave his own backyard.
Yeah, it's cool. And it was cool. And the reason we want to bring up these Nebraska athletes is because, Kaylin was really influential. He said coming to see Kaylin and just that very welcoming attitude, like just a nice guy. And then the fan base as well. And that's why it's always kind of great to live in Lincoln. I'm proud that when recruits come here, that's always like one of their taking points is how welcome they feel.
Yeah.
And that just speaks a lot. I'm not only happy that we're getting some athletic talent out here, but the recruits out of state when they come here, that's always what they notice. And a lot of it's just due to the community I have. And, you know, the youth that's coming up are also just great young men and women. So again, we're going to have those guests on coming up later, and we got a little bit of time here. Why don't we go ahead and preview what we have ahead before we throw it to break?
Yeah, Harrison, I'm really excited. We've got a couple great guests coming in today. The first one that I want to just give you a quick little shout out. Her name is Peyton Lear, and Peyton is a recent graduate. She just graduated from Lincoln East this year.
Okay.
Peyton was also actually a 5th grade student when I was a teacher back in the day. So she is a former student of mine. I'm excited to touch base with her and hear a little bit more about what she's got going on in the future. And then also our other guest today is Taylor Strike, and Taylor is also a neighbor of mine, but I've known Taylor since she was younger too, and Taylor has done some amazing things, which I'm excited for her to share about some of her thinking of international business and some of those things that she's got in her pockets moving in the future. So it's going to be exciting to hear what's going on.
Yeah, it should be a good show. And again, I like to call this the feel good hour, especially with social media. You see, like, it's a lot of negative on top of negative on top of negative. You know, what the hell's the youth doing? Everyone's always freaking out.
Exactly.
There's a term for that. I always forget, but the older generation always assumes they're better than the one before them, despite statistics and everything going up. Mm-hmm. It's just a natural thing. But
I tell Pete all the time, this is the feel good show for sure.
Oh yeah, and then we've capped it off too with I do want to remind people, get your happy on with Ricky C. Simmons. That one's great as well. And you know, we talked about it. I want to dive into it, but you know, just thoughts and prayers to Mark's family. I'm sure everyone's aware. He's let it known to the public. You know, keep those in mind. And it's just really important. You know, you got to wake up really appreciating every single day. You know, it's very easy. Unfortunately, it's kind of tragedies that bring us back to that reminder. But again, you know, there's really not a lot of time to hold bitterness. You know, it really is just an attitude thing. Ricky says that all the time. You just got to flip a switch. You know, if you want a bad day, you could very easily make that happen. It's just a mindset. If you want a really good day, you know, it's the same thing. It might be a little bit of a harder of a switch to turn on, but, you know, you just got to realize, you know, it's a finite timeline. You got to respect everyone, and there's not a lot of time to hold bitterness and hatred out there. So just be nice to everyone today. You know, if you got loved ones, tell them hello, open the door for a stranger, just whatever it is. Be sure to be kind to someone today. With that being said, though, we'll go ahead and throw it to break here on Bigger Than the Score. We got Phil and a couple of special guests coming up here on the next break. You guys can join the show, 402-464-5685 at the Starter Haven text line, and we will see you guys on the other side of the break.
Beat the heat and make 4th of July truly monumental at Generation V.
Generation V.
This weekend only, Generation V has incredible deals that'll blow you away. Stock up on select disposables as low as $10 and enjoy 20% off all pet products.
Generation V.
July 1st through 4th, experience monumental savings up to 33% off mods, e-liquid, Delta 8, and more. Generation V with 16 Nebraska locations and a new location at 27th and Superior. GenerationV.com. Vapes contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning. Now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Don't let biased algorithms or degree screens or exclusive professional networks or stereotypes. Don't let anything keep you from discovering the half of the workforce who are stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time to tear the paper ceiling and see the stars beyond it. Find out how you can make stars part of your talent strategy at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards Luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes.
My kid
knows it's dangerous. 5.4 million American kids, and most think it's harmless. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. That's talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This is how we do it.
If you love them enough to turn off your music,
and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at NHTSA/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults have diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 3 adults has pre-80s? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public Schools on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bigger Than the Score. I'm Phil Maynard, filling in for Pete Ferguson, along here with Harrison. You can reach us out at the Sutter Heyman text line at 402-464-5685. All right, I'm excited for Bigger Than the Score today because we have 2 exceptional guests. We have Peyton Lear and Taylor Streak. So we're going to go ahead and get that started here a bit. And I think, Peyton, we're going to go ahead and start with you. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about your educational journey, where you've been, what schools, what are you involved in? Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, so I started here at Brownell. I've been in Lincoln my whole life, so I went to Brownell, had you as my teacher.
She did have a very good 5th grade teacher.
And then I went to Mickle for middle school, and then went to Lincoln East.
Awesome.
Graduated from there.
Very cool. So you've spent your entire career kind of on this east side of Lincoln a little bit, going from Brownell to Mickle and then over to East. So hold on, let me see if I can do this, Harrison. We've got Buffalo, Missile, Spartan, right?
Yep.
All right. So at Lincoln East, what kind of things were you involved in over at Lincoln East?
I was in show choir mostly, like a lot of choir related activities and musical, and also freshman year I did volleyball.
Oh, so we did a little bit of volleyball, but then you found your passion in show choir then and stuff like that. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So Taylor, I love, because I remember you've always been involved with choir, even when you were in elementary school. So to see that passion has continued and you brought that into the next. Were you ever a singer, Harrison? Were you involved with that?
Yeah, actually did swing choir.
Did you?
Yeah, it was I think one of my friends did it. He convinced me. He's like, "No, dude, it's awesome. We get like a free class during the day." He didn't tell me that we had to start practice before school started. So that was the thing. But I did it begrudgingly, and then I actually came to kind of like it. You know, it wasn't something I was great at. I'll be real with myself. I wasn't great at it, but I did it for 1 year, my senior year, because one of my friends convinced me, and I was like, "All right, I'll do it with you." Begrudgingly started actually getting into it, and I was like, you know, it actually turned into a pretty fun experience. And you know, it's one of those things that you put yourself out there, and you actually learn a lot about yourself, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I ever expected to.
And I grew up in Hastings, and that's what I liked about that small town. You were able to involve a lot. So I was in swing choir as well. I think I've even told Peyton this. And when I taught at Belmont back in the day, another teacher and I, we actually had the only elementary school swing choir, the Belmont Swing Choir here in town, and we were the directors up for a while. So that was kind of exciting. So Taylor, same question. Tell us about your educational journey a little bit.
Yeah, I've also stayed in Lincoln my whole life. So I've been in Lincoln. I started in elementary school at Trinity and then moved to middle school at Lincoln Lutheran. And then I started high school at Lincoln Lutheran as well. I went there my freshman and sophomore year. And then for my junior and senior year, I transferred to Lincoln Southeast.
Awesome. So starting in some of the parochial schools here in Lincoln, and then towards the end of your academic career in elementary and high school and stuff, you moved over to the public schools, which was Lincoln Southeast. Is that correct?
Correct.
So tell us about some of your experiences maybe at Lincoln Southeast. What are some things that you're involved in over there?
Yeah, I'm a part of various like sports over there. So I do cheer. I'm on their like regular team and also their competition team. And then I also do track over there. And I also this year they just started the inaugural bowling team. So me and my friends did that, and that was really fun actually.
Tell me more about that non-girl bowling team. What do you mean by non-girl bowling team? Or sorry,
Inaugural.
inaugural. Sorry, I was like non-girl. I'm really lost. Inaugural. That makes way more sense.
It's the first year that LPS like had bowling as an official sport there. So it was awesome. I got to meet a lot of more people at Lincoln Southeast, and it was just an amazing time. I was a team captain there, and at district I won, so that was really fun. And then state was amazing. There were so many amazing competitors there, and it was just a fun experience at Sun Valley here in Lincoln.
Oh, I think that would be real. I was never a great bowler by any means, but I think having that as a high school sport, I think it would have gotten a lot of people involved in some opportunities they might not have had in other.
Do you ever have like a little league bowling team? 'Cause that was always big where I grew up, small town. It was awesome.
Little league bowling? No, I don't even know if I know what that is.
It's just like elementary kids have like their bowling league. So like after school they all go bowling.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Oh
But
yeah,
no, we didn't have that.
It was fantastic. It was actually, we figured out some bowlers there. They actually realized at a young age, it's like, hey, I'm not too bad at this. I enjoy doing it. Then we had some high school programs where they're tied together, obviously some other schools, but no, it was actually really cool to do. And something, I don't know how many schools can do that. It's probably hard to do with the bowling alleys, but no, it was an awesome time.
Well, I when my son Parker was little, I knew I used to sign him up for this kids bowl free program in Lincoln where I could actually take him free to go bowling during the day. I ended up having to pay for myself and stuff, but I thought I might turn him into the next Roy Munson, but he just didn't pick up those bowling skills. I think I've got a good video where he's getting it stuck exactly in that gutter thing.
Absolutely.
It's kind of great.
Taylor, were you always into bowling, or did this come up later in life?
Oh, this was my first year of bowling. I also did kids bowl free when I was in like elementary school, but first things for everything, right? It was just kind of fun. We needed some people, so
thank you, Taylor. So going back to your involvement, Peyton, you had mentioned swing choir or something. So tell us about some of that involvement that you have in swing choir. What kind of things is that? Do you go on trips? Is there contests? Is there competitions?
Yeah, so we do competitions every year, about like 6 or 7. And this year actually was the best Express is what we're called. The best season Express has ever had.
Oh, wow.
We've set record. We won grand champion twice and never placed lower than second.
Now, tell me what grand champion entails. Where is that competition? What does that look like?
So you win the whole thing. You beat about 13 other groups.
Oh, wow. Is that here in Lincoln, or where's that at?
Yes, there's a couple competitions here in Lincoln, and then we won in Norris and Omaha Burke.
Oh, wow.
So
Lincoln East Express is traveling and they're doing pretty well. That's good. Yeah. Grand champion. So there's the title to defend at Lincoln East this coming year. Yep. I love it. I love it. Well, awesome. Taylor, with some of your involvement as well, I know you've done a lot of great things with business, even won some awards and stuff like this. What are some of the things that you've been involved with at Lincoln East? And can you elaborate maybe a little? I mean, at Lincoln Southeast, can you elaborate a little bit more about those?
Yeah, for sure. The past 2 years at Lincoln Southeast, I've been the president of FBLA and DECA there.
Tell me FBLA. Tell me what that means.
Yeah,
that's
FBLA
an acronym.
Is Future Business Leaders of America, and then DECA is Distributive Education Clubs of America. And essentially, it's just a business organization where you go to conferences and you compete with just various different business ideas. So there are like hundreds of different things you can compete in. There might be like business management or entrepreneurship. And usually you take like a test, an objective test, and then you go into a role play with that specific thing. So with that, we go to like local, national, and state competitions. This year I won in business management, which was really fun.
Wow.
There's like hundreds of competitors there. It's awesome. I really recommend it. I know at like every LPS school, they normally have either an FBLA or a DECA chapter there. And then other business things, I'm a part of Startups UNL, which is actually a collegiate club, but they've been generous and really nice to let me stay there and just learn more things through them. I also do like business pitch competitions.
Wow.
So that's like usually it's like venture capitalists or like funders come in, and I've done some like local and state ones, and
Great.
usually pitch a business idea and kind of talk about the problem or challenge and then your solution to it.
That's fantastic. So I think if I was a younger person, I would go into Lincoln East, or if I was in Lincoln Southeast, and say I wanted to get into swing choir, if I wanted to get into business, what route am I taking? What do I need to talk to? What classes do I need to take? What's the route? Just try out? Is it?
Yeah, just audition, I guess. Put yourself out there is what I want.
Oh, just kind of, yeah. I'd say putting yourself out there and just kind of not having that fear, right? Just kind of putting those 2 foot forward. What about you, Taylor?
There's so many things to be involved in. I know at East and at Southeast, you might not think that you're gonna like something, but you might as well just like try out or look into these different organizations, go with friends, and just kind of figure out what you like. And if you don't have to finish it, but you might find things that you really like and are passionate about.
I love how many different opportunities you can have in the high school setting, certainly public schools.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
definitely one thing you want to stress. Something I wish I'd tell my younger self. Definitely just try everything once. You know, it's not going to hurt yourself. Because swing choir, wasn't surprised. So Peyton, what was that kind of like for you? Was swing choir, were you ever like nervous about trying to do something like that? Or when you saw that was available, you were excited and signed up right away?
Well, yes, I've definitely always loved choir, so I knew I wanted to do it, but I was like really scared to audition in the start. And also, like coming from Mickle, I didn't know anybody, so I was kind of all alone. Like when I joined, and then I ended up making like the best friends ever.
Well, yeah, Mickle is more of tends to feed into Lincoln Northeast and stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, you had a whole new experience when you transferred over to Lincoln East and started that. That's amazing. Well, and I think you're being too humble here, Peyton, because I remember you were even involved in the Nutcracker dance when I was in elementary. You practiced with a group. I think you were when you gotta do something at school, but you've always been involved in dance, and you've been so this has always maybe been a little bit of passion that you've had, hasn't it? Wonderful.
Yeah, but just out of curiosity, I want to know because I'm always impressed by how far some of these students can spread themselves out. So, what are you guys all a part of, or what were you all part of last year? I know you got swing choir. You're taking a lot of business classes. Were there any other extracurricular activities that you guys were a part of?
Just a lot of choir things, just like musical, and we have this thing called Expressions, which is like a rock show.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It's like student ran. We put it together, only students. The teachers aren't really involved.
Uh-huh.
Like they have to watch over us, but we control it. And yeah, that's it basically. Like just all choir stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of before and after school work too. So
Yeah.
maybe adding a ton of that might not be ideal.
And and I asked Peyton here to come today because I actually hadn't seen Peyton for a long time since I was fortunate to go to her graduation party this year. And when Peyton was a 5th grader in my class, Harrison, she actually won the she won the Inspire Award for 5th grade. And Inspire Award is by the Lincoln Public Schools Foundation.
And what does it just stand for?
Inspire, there's one student selected from every school and one teacher that's selected from every school. And they are just identified by teachers and by staff as a kid that inspires. And I actually found the write-up that I wrote for Peyton
And she's
8 years ago.
Fifth grade at the time?
Yeah, as a 5th
Okay.
grader. So Peyton, I'm going to read this morning. Are you ready for this? Okay, it says, when I was asked to nominate a student for the Inspire Award, Peyton Lear came to my mind immediately. I have always believed that a true leader inspires others by their actions, not solely by their words. Peyton exemplifies what it truly means to inspire others. At Brownell Elementary School, Peyton participates in the Students of Character Club. She greets students when they enter the building in the morning, does the morning announcements, helps with recycling, and assists in leading school fundraisers. Peyton is also involved in chorus and band at Brownell, as well as softball and dance outside of school. Peyton not only inspires throughout the school and community, but also in the classroom. She is highly respected among her peers and models and exceeds grade level expectations on a daily basis. Peyton is an intrinsically motivated student that leads her classmates in learning through her attitude and effort. Her drive for academic success is contagious among her peers. She motivates others to be successful. I'm very happy to nominate Peyton Lear for the Inspire Award. She is a wonderful representative for Brownell School and continues to amaze staff and students daily. There is no doubt that Peyton will continue to show success in her academic future. I've been very fortunate to work with her as an amazing student. So I think it's all come to fruition. If I
was gonna say, do you give yourself credit for calling that
you
one
know
out?
what? I think I will. Yeah, for sure, Harrison.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is impressive, especially at a young age to recognize
and
that.
I was like, oh, I'm pretty excited. So when I found that, I was like, I'm gonna have to share that with Peyton today.
Yeah, that's incredible. And it sounds like you're always willing to be involved. And I want to ask you guys, how important, if you had to talk to another student, how important is it that you tell them like, hey, you need to try these different things? Maybe if it's just 1 year or something you might think you're not very good at. What would you kind of tell those student athletes that are maybe skeptical to put themselves out there? Or is it student athletes, just students, any extracurricular activity?
I would say it's pretty important, especially if you are going to like a new school, maybe like transitioning from middle to high school. It's a great way to meet people, even if you like don't know if you're going to be good at that sport. I think it's just amazing to make those new connections, even if you don't finish it throughout high school, whether or not it's sports or a different activity or clubs.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. Like, even though I stopped doing volleyball after freshman year, it definitely helped me meet a lot of new people. Like, just starting out, like even at like the weight training things in the summer before high school started, like it helped me like meet a lot of new people.
Yeah, I think just for the community aspect of it alone would be worthwhile for sure. Just to be able to meet those new people, make those connections, see those faces. So when you're in a hallway, they're not strangers. Those are the people that you're ready to move forward with.
I always throw it back to track. I did track my junior year of high school. Only did it 1 year. Just absolutely miserable. I only did it 1 year because I wanted to see the seniors on the way out. Imagine spring sport. This is the last sport. Football's done. Basketball's done. You guys are graduating. This is the last kind of like outside of the school thing I can do with you guys. And it was great. I got to meet everyone. I hated doing the 2 mile, 1 mile, 800. That was awful. But I had such a great time hanging out with all my friends. And then some of the other track kids I never talked to. I was like, man, I missed out on my entire high school with barely talking to you. I didn't realize, how much I got along with you, how much we had in common, and just small things like that. So it's definitely worth kind of pushing your boundaries of comfort, right? You don't want to get too comfortable. If you get too comfortable, you're not going to try anything new. So it's very important to keep that in mind. And I feel like Peyton and Taylor are emphasizing that point well. With that being said, though, we'll go ahead and throw it to break. This is Bigger Than the Score on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. We got Taylor and Peyton, special guest in here, and Phil replacing Pete Ferguson today, as Pete takes a day off, I believe, not going to the hot dog eating contest. But nonetheless, we'll throw it to break here and catch you guys on the other side of the break.
The Still has been Lincoln and Southeast Nebraska's go-to superstore for fine wines for more than 35 years. And from now through the 4th of July, get Crown Royal 1 3/4 liters for $46.99. Buy 2 bottles and receive a $25 mail-in rebate. That makes each bottle just $34.49 before tax. Price valid through the 4th of July. Check out that more at The Still, Lincoln's fine wines and spirits superstore, just south of 70th and Highway 2.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away for the thrill of reeling in a big one or just going out to have a good time on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line here beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Nebraska State Veterans Homes are here to serve veterans, their spouses, surviving spouses, and Gold Star parents. Join your fellow veterans and their families at one of our homes in Bellevue, Kearney, Norfolk, or Scottsbluff. With a sliding scale to determine your financial contribution, an excellent clinical team, and activities, our homes are the perfect retirement choice. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/homes. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and station.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffo. He was riding old Betsy the stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffo can, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo nota diferente podría ser Alzheimer, es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/, nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de the Alzheimer's Association y the Ad Council.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association, the station.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
A smoke-free environment is the only way to fully protect from the dangers of secondhand smoke. That's why smoke-free policies are so important to me. Whether it's in my car, apartment building, or when I'm dining outdoors, there's no place for secondhand smoke or e-cigarette aerosol. Breathe easier knowing the facts. Visit smokefree.ne.gov. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Bigger Than the Score with Peter Ferguson from Lincoln Public Schools on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bigger Than the Score. I'm Phil Maynard, filling in for Pete Ferguson today, along with Harrison, and I'm here with Taylor and Peyton. Feel free to reach out to us on the Honda of Lincoln hotline at 402-464-5685, the Starter Haven text line. All right, girls, welcome back. I'm excited to have you again back on Bigger Than the Scores. I'm filling in for Pete. So real quick, before we start off the second half of this show and the end of the show, speaking of families and people that might be listening today, we'll start with you, Taylor. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out today?
I think my whole family is listening. So my mom, I know she's in South Dakota, probably with my grandparents. Shout out to you guys. I think my dad is watching, maybe my brother. I know my aunt and cousins in Norfolk said they were also going to be listening. So
We got to say hi to the whole Strike family. Yeah. And, I have to give a special shout out to your brother, Zach. He helped me move a treadmill in my house the other day. It was a very heavy treadmill. Very heavy. It was a 4-man job, Taylor. It was a big treadmill. Was not feeling very strong after this one. Zach just kind of picks up. He's not even sweating, and I'm like drenched. It's like, oh, to be 22 again. All right. Peyton, same thing. Any family members? Anybody want to give a shout out today too?
Yeah, both my parents should be watching, I'm pretty sure. And I think my little brother, Lennox, and my sister's on vacation right now.
You don't think Reagan's tuning in?
So I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe.
Awesome. Well, we are excited that the Lear family and the Strike family and everybody else that's tuning in. I bet my wife is still in bed right now, Harrison. It's just a guess. She'll be like, I'll listen later. I will listen.
Yeah.
later.
Once you do it every day, they're like, I don't care. When I have my car and you're on, man, then I'll listen.
It loses the appeal a bit.
Yeah, because my girlfriend at first it's like, oh, did you hear me? I'm on, and now it's like, it's fine. I understand. I don't expect you to stop everything and listen to me. From 6 to 11.
Awesome. So Taylor, Peyton, one thing I love about this show is the advice that he gives to people, the advice that he gives to upcoming students, even to adults. I feel like I learn something from the show on a weekly basis. So I guess I wanted to talk to you maybe about mentors that you've had, people that have meant something to you that helped you grow personally, maybe academically, maybe spiritually, physically, however you feel. Maybe who are some mentors? And Taylor and Peyton, we'll start with you this time. Maybe some mentors that you've had.
I would say primarily my parents have pushed me to try new things, like we were saying, and work my hardest and join whatever makes me happy.
Yeah, sometimes we don't want to take those pushes ourselves, and we kind of need that little
Yeah,
push from mom or dad or do that as well. I think I can think of plenty of times where maybe I didn't want to try out for a team or something. It's like, oh, I did this. No, you can try out. You're gonna give your best effort. And
Junior high speech. Thanks, Mom. I did it though. You know, it was another one of those things. Begrudgingly tried it. I learned that I wasn't very good at it, and that was okay. But like, it's kind of funny. I ended up with this job today, but I was also doing, I think I was doing like serious conversations. But again, it was one of those things. Figured out wasn't very great at it, but at least I tried it. You know, and a lot of times you just got to try it once, see how you land on it. But if you don't try, like these guys repeated over and over again, you're just not going to know.
So even thinking musically, Taylor, have you had mentors musically that have kind of helped you grow in that area?
Yeah, I would say I've had some of the best choir teachers. Like,
Awesome.
they have definitely pushed me, and they always say that if you don't try out, you'll never know. Like, for any of the choir related activities.
And I think that's a great way to say it is we don't often know what we have until we put ourselves out there and do that. That's awesome. What about you, Taylor? Maybe some mentors that you've had that have helped you grow.
Yeah, kind of similar. I mean, my parents and my friends and family, just everybody has been there for me, helped supported and guided me. Always been very positive and encouraging. Also with more like my business side, a bunch of like Lincoln entrepreneurs that have really helped me, guide me, especially when I was like co-founding a nonprofit. They helped guide me through like filing for my 501c3 and how that all works and going into college.
Can you go in deep when you're co-founding that nonprofit?
Yeah, it's called Open Coffee Youth. It's not it doesn't have any relation to actual coffee, but essentially it's a startup youth incubator. So we help other students if they have an idea for a business. We help them gather new resources and networks. And
You have a website?
we do a website.
What's the website?
I think it's just opencoffeeyouth.com.
You heard that, opencoffeeyouth.com entrepreneurs out there.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Or it could be, we rebranded to that. It was Open Coffee High School. It could be that if you just want to search that up. But yeah, so we've gained over 500 participants, and
Oh,
I think
wow.
we're in over 11 countries by now.
Holy cow.
So it's awesome. I've just gotten to meet so many people. I also had an internship thread in the Nebraska Safety Council, and I think those people have been amazing mentors in helping me like figure out what I want to do, maybe not what I want to do as well in my future. So yeah, it's just been amazing. I love networking and meeting new people, so I find new mentors all the time.
Wonderful, wonderful. So just being able to find those mentors, and it sounds like you've been able to use that mentorship to help it grow even more and to grow your own thinking and expand like this coffee house, or say it one more time.
Open Coffee Youth.
Open Coffee Youth.
Yeah, I'll put it in the podcast
Yes,
notes for all those
that
listening
sounds
out there.
awesome to have those, to be able to go someplace with ideas and be able to find other youth that you can talk to and continue to grow. I love it. So thinking a little bit more as we move on, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about maybe some advice that you might both have been given. Maybe it's by a mentor or somebody that's helped you move forward. And I want, if you could have some advice that you could pass on to somebody on this, and this is that show to do so, what would be some advice that maybe you'd want to give out, or maybe you've received it, or just some advice you'd want to give? Taylor, do you want to go first?
Yeah. I think just networking is so important. I think we kind of talked about that earlier, but you don't know who you're going to run into and who you might find later in your life, that you might need those connections and opportunities. Also, just looking at things optimistically, just go into everything open-minded. You know,
I agree. I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Yeah. Just getting to know people, going into situations, like I said, open-minded, and you never know what opportunities are gonna fly at you.
So open-minded, just kind of putting yourself out there and not being afraid to take those risks. I love it, Taylor. Peyton, same question to you. What do you think?
Yeah, I was about to say like a similar thing to that. Just not judging something before you do it. Just make sure that you know what you're judging,
Yeah.
like just I don't know how to.
No, but yeah, like really putting yourself out there, not like giving something a title before you've tried it out yourself almost, like it's easy to say, I want to give Harrison a hard time that he's a Cardinals fan, but I've never stepped foot in a Cardinals fan's shoes and cheered on this team, which I probably won't. But yes, I completely get what you're saying here.
A lot of problems would be solved if we could just get that mindset, right?
Yes. And before, I know we're wrapping up here soon, but I didn't even get a chance to talk to you. What are our future endeavors? What are our plans next year? Where are we going? What's the plan after high school? Peyton, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm gonna be going to UNL and majoring in elementary education.
Yay! I get pretty excited about those future teachers.
Yes.
So we're continuing. And what makes you want to jump into the educational world here, Peyton? What was that?
Well, honestly, like I've had some of the best teachers and some not so good teachers. So I'm like hoping that I can be a teacher that kids remember and hopefully they can learn something from or take throughout their life, give them something they can take throughout their life.
And Taylor, I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to be a fantastic teacher. And if I'm fortunate enough to get to work with you someday, I think that'd be the best thing in the world. So
yeah, that's incredible. We need good teachers.
Oh,
absolutely.
And she's going to be one of them. And are you thinking primary like the littles?
Yes.
You got to love the littles. And we need great teachers at the littles as well. Taylor, same question. Future endeavors. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm also going to UNL next year. I was going into international business. I changed my major like 3 days ago. So now I'm going into business management with specialization in entrepreneurship and then minoring in global studies. So I still get that global aspect.
Okay. Because I knew international business was a thought, and I thought, wow, that'd be so cool to travel on a plane like you're jet setting from different European countries.
Yeah, that's
getting
what
a
you dream of.
passport
Yeah.
stamped and all these different places.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely want to study abroad. I thought about getting like my MBA possibly after. We'll see when that comes. But
Awesome.
yeah.
I love it. And it sounds like we got 2 future Huskers in the house too. So that's,
I'd love to
a
hear
good
that.
thing.
That's always a great
we're
thing.
always excited about that as well.
Yeah, and we still got a little bit of time here. So, I don't think we asked this yet. If you guys I'd like to ask this. You guys are on your way out, but I'm sure you guys have had some family moments that really mean a lot to you. Was there anything that you could tell their parents, as their kids are going through high school, advice to help, their kids be successful on their way out the door?
Yeah. I think encouraging them and everything that they do, trust them that they'll make their best decisions for themselves. Let them know that, they can make their own path. They can't rely on other people to do that for them. So just kind of laying out like, here is this is where you want to go, then you've got to make it. You can go out and be ambitious and just be driven, and hopefully your goals will come.
I think that's powerful, Taylor. I think oftentimes we as a parent myself, we want our kids to have these dreams, these ambitions that are very similar probably to what we see, but we got to get out of their way because they know what they're doing. They want to put their best foot forward, and we have to have trust in ourselves that we've created an environment where they're going to be successful. And Taylor, it sounds like your parents have done that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Those kids that they say it's impactful when their parents just trust them to do it. Like they trust their kids to make the right decision, and having that like belief behind them and not like overstepping and trying to constantly push them to do it, and just have that belief in them that they can get the job done. I don't need to be in the ear all the time. Stuff like that. It's really, it makes the kid, just trust himself more, and it goes a long way. But moving on here, Peyton, what about you?
Kind of similar. Just parents letting their kids know that they're by their side, like through whatever, and pushing them to do things that make them happy, or letting them know they can do what makes them happy and they won't get judged for it.
Absolutely. And I do have one from the text line. This one comes out from our own Pete Ferguson. He chimes in here. He says, this one is directed at you, Phil.
I'm sure it is.
Where does Phil rate on the inspiration to teach? And then he says, "Great job, hello, runway in Vegas." So, kind of going back, where would you rank Phil?
Oh. Uh-oh.
I would say 10 out of 10.
Oh, Taylor was my very last class, and I went to some graduation parties, and every year I'm fortunate to get to go to a couple graduation parties, but this was a special group. I got to go to about 6 or 7 graduation parties, kids I taught in 5th grade. So when you have that connection as a 5th grade teacher and you get to see them graduate, it's really kind of special. And Peyton's class, I will always remember. A lot of special kids, and I know it's my last class, but we had a lot of fun that year, didn't we?
Oh yeah,
we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And come to my last question because I knew the answer was going to be up there. I'm sure that's why Pete did too. Yeah, but definitely appreciate everything you do. And again, it's just kind of awesome to have just all these times for the youth in the Lincoln community. And everything that you and Pete are doing. It's just awesome to see. And, I'm learning so much about Lincoln. We had Lincoln's Playhouse, I believe it was called, with the Penguin Project and all that going on. You just hear so many stories about the youth and everything they're doing, and it's cool. And then you just, new week, new people, you keep hearing more and more. A lot of people just really doing very well here in Lincoln. But before we get going, we have about 3 minutes left. I want to ask everyone before we get out of here, and we'll go over to the Fitness Fanatics. Great show. That's with Jeff and Nicole Essink. They will go from 9 to 11. That one's always a great one. And again, podcast, ticketfm.com for this show and all the other ones after it. But 4th of July plans. What does everyone got going on? It's a great weekend. Everyone usually has something going on. What do you guys all got? Me and Phil talked about it, so it's a little more directed at you guys.
Just hanging out with friends and family.
You going anywhere special to watch the fireworks?
No. Well, usually we go to like my cousin's house or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So probably that's what we'll do.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm chilling here in Lincoln. Last year we were in New York, so we were close to the hot dog eating contest.
Have you guys all watched The Good, the Bad, and the Hungry, the 30 for 30 on the hot dog eating contest with Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut?
I can't watch that, man. It just makes me sick.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's like one of my favorite annual 4th of July events. I know exactly where I'm going to be on the 4th of July at like 11:30. It's on ESPN. Do not miss it. It is fantastic television if you have not seen it.
I can't watch it, but I can't argue. I mean, obviously there's a market. Everyone watches it.
I honestly
every
don't
year.
think I've ever missed a hot dog eating contest. So I'm very excited about it.
So what are you guys' relation to fireworks? Because 4th of July is one of those holidays that is all over the map in terms of where people rank it for their favorite holidays. So where does that rank for you guys? Are you guys pyromaniacs? Do you like lighting them off, or do you just kind of like to hang back and it's a fun day because your friends and family are there?
Yeah, I think for our family, it's probably like one of the top tier holidays. I know, Phil's right by us, and you'll see Zach and I just sitting, like blowing up firecrackers. We usually do like the smaller fireworks, and then we'll watch the cul-de-sac on the 3rd because they go crazy.
Yep. It's always nice to have a neighbor that goes a little bit over the top.
Yeah, especially when you got a little competition going.
Well, yeah.
Where it's like one year it's one guy, next year it's another guy, and they just keep up, and everyone benefits. It's a benefit for everyone.
It benefits us all, right?
And then Peyton, what about you? What's your kind of relation to 4th of July? You the pyromaniac type, or do you just like to hang back and watch?
I used to be like pyromaniac. I definitely wanted to light them all off, but now that's my little brother.
Oh yeah. How old's Lennox now?
He's 8.
Oh, he is. He's definitely probably the pirate.
Yes.
Awesome. It was a great show. And Phil, sorry, cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I had nothing else there. I'm just more excited about the 4th, I guess.
Absolutely. And hopefully everyone else is. Hope everyone listening out there does have a great 4th of July weekend. But we got some time, man. We got plenty more time to listen to Ticket FM shows. We got Fitness Fanatics with Jeff and Nicole Essink up next. And then to follow them, we'll have The Breeze. And then later tonight, we will have Husker Rewind, as well as Get Your Happy On with Ricky C. Simmons. So again, plenty of ticket content to watch. You catch this at ticketfm.com afterwards. Thank you to Phil for filling in for Pete, and Taylor and Peyton for coming in here. Awesome show today on Bigger Than the Score. And thank you guys for all listening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.